and just play around with the sizes. It's not too difficult. Now, there's one problem with using the HTML to resize pictures, and that is if you've got, let's say, a 3 meg picture which you just downloaded off your camera, which they can be like nowadays 8 megs quite easily depending on your camera. If you are going to have an image which is, let's say, 450 pixels by 300 pixels, that actually is only around about, say, 60k in size. And so if you're downloading 8 megs, well, you've spent all that time and energy downloading this great big, millions of pixels worth of information, and then you're getting your browser to reduce it and make it into a very small picture so that you can see. And this takes a long time, and it's really quite wasteful, and really your users are going to be very impatient, waiting like a minute or two for your web page to load. So the better thing to do is actually resize the image in your folder to be approximately the right size, and so then it's just going to download very quickly, and your browser or computer doesn't have much work to do. There's many different resizing programs on the net. Microsoft Office Picture Manager has a very neat one. It can actually do all pictures at once in we call batch form. If you just open up Paint, you can load in a picture, resize it, and just save it one at a time. Photoshop can do that one at a time. There's all sorts of different ways that you can resize, but the general rule is that your pictures should not be over 100k in size. If your pictures have many images and they're all going to add up, and it can actually make your web page be quite large indeed. And that's going to take time, which is going to not be advantageous for your website. Okay, there are different types of file formats. We have the BMP. Now, BMP is native to Windows, not used for websites. They're very, very large and generally not supported much at all. TIFF is even larger than BMP, and that's used for specialist photography people or whatever. They are simply huge, as sometimes you can get images like 30 odd megs in size or 60 megs in size, something like that. So definitely, absolutely not used in websites. We have the GIF, which is used quite often. Now the GIFs only have 256 colors, and so generally we use GIFs for maps or cartoons or any type of drawing type image. And they do actually have transparency, which is kind of neat, and generally not photographs, so anything which has been created with the 256 colors or less is suitable for GIF. Now JPEG, on the other hand, is used for photographic material, any photographs or whatever, and it's not really suitable because of the compression technique for maps or drawing, that type of thing. So between the GIFs and the JPEGs, you've got the two to choose from. PNG is also very good. It has a it's fairly similar to GIF. It doesn't support animation like GIFs, but it has transparency effects and many other things, but it has a lot more colors than GIFs. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. If you're looking to do things which are not photographs, but you need more than 256 colors, well, then you might start thinking about using PNG. The EPS is basically not even used for HTML, more like desktop type publishing, and the PDFs are good for downloading books and things, but you wouldn't use PDF as part of the site. Also, you normally would use a Adobe Reader to read PDF. By the way, if you're trying to make your own PDFs, Qt PDF is probably one of the best programs to use to print to your own PDFs. Okay, well, let's do our main activity. So I'm just going to go through the next 4 slides to explain what needs to be done. We're going to make a simple gallery. Our website is going to have 6 pages. It's going to have an index page, and that's going to connect to our 5 other pages which have the large photos. And the index page is going to have a title, a brief explanation about what this image gallery is all about. It's your trip around the world, or whatever you might imagine. It's going to have thumbnails, so the thumbnails must be quite small. It will be the size of the images might be maybe 150 pixels wide to an appropriate height high. And the idea is that when you click on the thumbnail, it's going to take you to the appropriate page, and the appropriate page will be one of the other 5, which is simply going to have the image which has been reduced to maybe 450 width and the appropriate height, and that's all it's going to have just on the page, just that one image. But underneath the image we'll have a home button, which that is simply going to link back to your index page again. Okay, so it's just a very easy and simple gallery, and hopefully it should be enjoyable. Now, to do this, you're going to need a number of things done to organize it, and you'll need to have a new photos folder, and so we've already got the photos that you have, and you'll need to make another folder which is called thumbnails, and within that, copy across all the photographs, reduce them to the appropriate size. You'll need to reduce your copy of your photos to the appropriate size, and so effectively you'll have 2 folders, one with your photos which has got the appropriate size of the large photos, and another photo folder which is called thumbnails with the smaller ones inside there. Okay, then once you've got everything organized, you've got your photos the right size in the right folders, then you can start creating your index and the other 5 files which will be addressed to the appropriate photos. Now, you'll remember that you will need to use related paths, and so in your index or the other 5 files, you'll need to write, just get the mouse working, the 2 dots, the slash, the photo, the slash, and the appropriate name. And that means that the browser is going to look in the photos folder for this particular photo. Likewise, if you've got wherever your thumbnails are, that's going to replace the photos with thumbnails. If your thumbnails folder is within your photos folder, then it would go photos slash thumbnails slash New York SM, or whatever you've renamed your thumbnails to. Okay, have a go and see if you can make your first gallery. Once you have done that, of course, put your student number on and zip it up as being your activity for this lesson.